daily pill can dramatically improve symptoms. Rinvoq helps tame pain, stiffness, swelling, and for some, Rinvoq can even significantly
See, bet
RA fatigue.
I stopped cutting my hair.
With RA, the overactive immune system attacks your joints. Rinvoq regulates it to help stop the attack.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious infections and blood clots, sometimes fatal, have occurred, as have certain cancers, including lymphoma, and tears in the stomach or intestines, and changes in lab results. Your doctor should monitor your blood work. Tell your doctor about any infections, and if you are or may become pregnant while taking Rinvoq.
Take on RA. Talk to your rheumatologist about Rinvoq relief. Rinvoq, make it your mission. If you can't afford your medicine, Opti may be able to help.
You've been eating the delicious sandwiches from Jimmy's John's?
They got summer wraps. They're new. This one's chicken Caesar. Got croutons too, boss.
Freaking Jimmy's John's!
New summer wraps for a limited time only.
We made USAA insurance for members like Martin, an Air Force veteran made of doing what's right, not what's easy. So when a hailstorm hit, USAA reached out before he could even inspect the damage.
That's how you do it, right?
USAA insurance is made just the way Martin's family needs it. With hassle-free claims, he got paid before his neighbor even got started. Because doing right by our members, that's what's right. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for. USAA!
2-0 Padres on top of the Marlins as we head to the top half of the fifth inning. Fernando Tatis Jr. is going to be leading it off. It's time for the Callaway long ball. Fernando yesterday, game one, picked up his 29th home run of the year.
Yeah, you can't throw it there and expect to get him out.
Could go 411 feet, 104.4 miles per hour. Launch angle could be 26 degrees if you throw it there.
And once again, like in Atlanta, with all the talent this Padre team has, a lot of brown and gold in attendance at Truist Park and also tonight at Lone Depot Park.
Sound out with the answer to our Valley View Casino trivia question from earlier. Fernando leads the NL with 74 runs scored this season. Most runs in the season by a Padres, 126 held by Steve Finley, 1996 for both wrong.
Yeah, and you know, I always go on my Steve Finley brand anytime his name is brought up.
Trev.
Well, yeah, because first of all, the rant is very underrated.
Hey, man.
Look at his numbers for his career.
Did you see that stuff that was sent to me by Mark Gastineau?
Really good career. And he doesn't get the credit I think he deserves for center fielders in the game of baseball. I could go on, but
Oh, I know, man.
Take it to the house?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Incredible. Dude, get this, all signed by the New York Stock Exchange. It's a gold coin from the NFL player, from the NFL alumni. Gastineau, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. I've become really good friends. And dude, this guy was so good. Hey, by the way, I would tell you in his day, only LT was better in the pass rusher. He was probably the best D lineman pass rusher of his time. Then right after him came Reggie and Bruce Smith. But dude, I would say Reggie and Bruce Smith are probably better. Okay? But man, like watch this. I've always told you, JJ Watt, I don't know. I think he's pretty comparable. I don't know. I might even take Gastineau. I hate these Marlins. No, I don't hate the Marlins. I hate where they play. I think the A's are moving to Vegas. This Cronenworth is good, man. This Cronenworth for the Padres is damn good.
safely.
Hey, was Cronenworth an all-star?
Off walk by Tatis as Cronenworth has been hit by a pitch and grounded out to shortstop.
That city can't work anything out.
Taken off is Tatis.
They couldn't
There will be lights. He's on the back.
get this though, Trev. They couldn't keep the Warriors there.
He's on the helmet, it appears.
They couldn't keep the Raiders there.
Steal second base.
I don't know, man. You know, the Warriors play in San Francisco now. They don't play in Oakland.
He has perfected the feet first slide and then going into the splits. It's Fernando.
Oh, don't forget the hair flip. There you go.
Man, Tatis is so good.
Tag.
Stay on.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That'd be a great painting, wouldn't it?
I love it. God, I wish I could do that. The 1-0 in the turn. And Fernando will stay at second base. Thought about it. Well, could he be a 40-40 man?
Wow.
It's been a while.
Yes, it has.
Wow, you think Tatis could be a 40-40 guy?
Back to 2006, Alfonso Soriano. You talk about underrated. I really feel like Alfonso Soriano was an underrated player. 36 home runs, 41 stolen bases.
That's a good call, yeah.
Pitch.
I didn't.
To second base, Joe Panic. Will throw first as Fernando takes third, one down.
I didn't know that.
That's what you call a productive out, right?
Absolutely. Move the runner along.
Get him over, get him in.
Highest OPS with runners in scoring position.
Dude, Machado's he's having a damn good season. He may hit 40 bombs this year.
Higher OPS in this spot. See what he can do here. One out in the fifth inning.
How about this? If Saquon Barkley plays well, Daniel Jones will have a good year. If Daniel Jones gets good production, they got a decent wide receiving core, the Giants. They do, man. Their defense is right there with the Redskins. But
not fishing for it, man. He's not getting the idea in his head. All right, I might not get much to hit right here. I got to be patient. On the other hand, Holloway's thinking, I'm going to throw some chum out there, maybe the fish will bite.
Tatis in third with one out. Padres on top, 2-0.
I didn't know that about David Sampson. I like David.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did.
I'm just like this on Daniel Jones, man. I mean, what was that kid they drafted out of Duke? What was his name, Trevor, years ago? Oh, man, he was a turd. But then again, David Cutcliffe wasn't the coach when the Giants drafted that quarterback in the supplemental draft. Nah, not Grayson Allen. That ballpark is too deep. I think it's Dave Brown. I think it's Dave Brown. Yeah.
Well, like Frank Sinatra saying, nice.
Dave Brown.
Does it every time.
Daniel Jones. I don't know. I see the same dude.
Swing for Manny, getting a breaking ball, getting extended and sent to left field to drive in that run.
Two down, bases empty now. Here's Tommy Pham.
This Padre team can play.
Grounded at the first and single to right. One of the three hits the Padres have put together. Bounces in from Holloway.
think we're all now under the guys now that last year was a freak show for the Marlins. Are the Mets still leading that division?
There's a strike, 2-1. Fastball at 96 at the knees.
He will. He'll get one again. They had a good little group at one time. They had Dave Dombrowski. Hey, they had Dave in the Marlins organization. They had Dave Dombrowski, Larry Beinfest, and David Sampson on that. They put a lot of talent in there. I mean, Hernandez was part of that. Stanton was part of that. Christian Yelich was part of that. I mean, look, they developed Cabrera. They had a lot of stars in Miami. And Dombrowski and Beinfest and Sampson and them dudes, they did a nice job, man, in their farm system. They had to because they were never going to spend money on big names. And every time big money came up, they moved them like Cabrera. How do you move a guy like Miguel Cabrera? Cliff Floyd, too. Hey, but how do you move a guy like Miguel Cabrera? Bro, Derek Lee, holy shit, that guy was great, too. Think of this for a second. Miguel Cabrera is arguably the best right-hand hitter. I mean, they traded for Dontrell. They got Dontrell Willis from the Cubs, I think. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they got Josh Beckett in a trade with the Red Sox. I'm talking when they were on the farm system. You know that the Marlins sent, what's his name, too? Trevor Hoffman to the Padres. Trevor Hoffman was a position player with the Marlins at one time. I think Trevor Hoffman was an infielder. I may be wrong on that Beckett deal, but I know the Cubs had Willis early.
Not all 5G networks are created equal. It's clear to see.
Okay, Beckett was the draft pick. You're right. He was. Like top 3, right? They traded Beckett to Boston. That's what it was.
Muscle milk helps build muscle. But when obstacles get in the way, it takes more than muscles to keep going. It takes heart to build strength. Muscle milk, open your strength.
Julian Tavares. Holy shit. Good knowledge, dog. Yeah, the Marlins sent Trevor Hoffman to the Padres.
Straight 3. Baseball fans don't need fans.
I thought he was a nobody. And he kind of was a nobody with the Marlins. Was Rob Nett, was he a Marlin? Was he a Marlin before? Was he a Marlin before he went to the Giants? Shit, man, that team that won that World Series with Sheff and them guys. I love Garrett Sheffield. He's from Tampa. Wow, Nem was a Marlin before he went to San Francisco. Kevin Brown was a Marlin first? No way. Was he? That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. Kevin Brown? Wow. Kevin Brown's a steroider. So they say. Wow. Dude, see? All these names you're mentioning. Bro, think about that, man. That's Dave and Dombrowski and Larry Beinfest. They had a good thing going. Am I right when I say this? For some reason, let me think. I'm trying to think. Did Piazza, did he ever have a cup of coffee in Miami? And I think Dale Murphy may have even ended his career with the Marlins. Why do I think Dale Murphy? I don't know. Why I see Dale Murphy somewhere in there. I may be wrong. Dale's a two-time Dale's a two-time MVP. What a great ball player that guy was. Oh, Charles Johnson's Miami Hurricane. Who was that pitcher that was a Hurricane? Oh, man. He was a Miami Hurricane. He was pretty good for them for a while. Who was that pitcher that was a Hurricane? Johnson and him played at Miami. Damn. He's got to be top like 5 and win. No, not Alex. Was it Alex Fernandez? I think that's right. Alex Fernandez is a Hurricane. Alex Fernandez, he's a Hurricane for sure. Alex Fernandez, you're right. Bank. Look at you. What a star. Wow. Yeah, but it sounded so really good as a goof. There's an illness about you. You know this, right? Good. Great. Thanks for the knowledge. I appreciate it. Oh, I guess that's the penance that I pay for the penitent man for, the work that you do. Okay, I got it. You're a monster. Thank you. That's because you're a gangster. Yeah, that's probably why also, too, you got jet fuel. Because I hear those gummy bears, they give you jet fuel. No. Far as being able to fill up a balloon with your gas. Oh, my God. Please don't make me throw up before I go on the air. I'm begging you. I'm begging. Good. Oh, hey, bank. Hey, bank. What? What thing? No, they didn't come by today. I think they're fixed. Oh, you want to hear something really ridiculous? So everyone's listening to me now on my show. My wife gets a call last night from like some people about the house, and she goes, there's toilet paper, that a septic tank, receptacle. My wife goes like this. There's nowhere on any crap house paper wrapping where it says septic friendly. And I go, do you want us to wipe with our hands? I go, you handled it that way? She's like, yes. I went, my God almighty, do you get a merit badge for that? Oh, my God. And get this. See, what I love about her is, too, if I say something like fuck you to her, she'll go like this. She'll look at me and she'll go, Oh, great. I hope peanut butter and jelly sandwiches right up your menu tonight for dinner. I'm going to bed. My wife puts up with no shit, but I like that in women. My aunt's a flamethrower. How you doing? Yankees, Red Sox. You actually make it sound like it matters today. You know what? I'm going to back up on that because they seemingly have kind of sparked it up a little bit more, like it matters a little bit. You know what, though? Trevor just brought a great point up about that rivalry. Dog, it's lost. I think he's right. It's lost it since they moved into the new building. When they were at the old stadium, it just seemed the atmosphere was just different, you know? Good evening, America. Dan Sileo, USA Radio. Thank you so much for coming aboard with us. We really appreciate it. The sports world is filled. Holy cow, man. Content everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. We so appreciate it. See, I am a fan of chaos. Chaos is content. It is. It's content. I love it, man. Anytime you get, now look, I'm not talking COVID-19 stuff because you always have some dope-ass dude out there doing this. Oh, he's hoping for somebody to die. My God almighty. There's always that guy that goes over the cliff and takes what you say. But then again, that's social media today. Taking 2% of what you say, adding a narrative and going, this is what he meant. Like you're some sort of like seance guy, right? Like you're Nostradamus. And you go, I know what he meant. Told you he would say it. No, that's not what I mean. Baseball, teams showing up for training camp. Hey, I'll tell you something else. The news in college football today was absolutely incredible. It was incredible today, yesterday. And how about this? There was a come to Jesus comment publicly made by Jerry Jones. If you told me Jerry Jones would have said what he said today, I mean, I'm not kidding you. I would have said, well, my head was sewed to the floor. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I first want to thank our great friends at Florida Man Radio for coming aboard and being an affiliate. Thank you so much. This is the first week that they're aboard the show in Orlando. We're on 105.5 FM, also 660 AM. And in Fort Walton Beach on the Emerald Coast, we are on 103.1 FM. Thank you guys so much for being involved with the show. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. If you're on my social media platforms, my YouTube channel, my Twitch channel, you contact us. By the way, that's pretty much so much how you can contact me. And I throw some of the things that you say because I am not going to ever do that. Well, I shouldn't say ever because I don't really like to do that. But when you start throwing numbers out on the air, you can always count on radio hosts that have the same callers over and 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 over. I'd rather hear me than them. Then you turn yourself into a traffic cop. You know, you're controlling your trolls. So I don't really like to throw the phone number. That's why you never hear me throw the phone number out. I don't. So if you want to get in touch with us, you go through my social media platforms. I'm trying to drive you there anyway, and to my radio show, which are great partners at USA Radio who distribute us. We are fabulous partners, and we love one another, and it's been a great experience. So we thank you very much for coming aboard. All right. Let's dive in now as we shall, huh? So the National Football League has some news on COVID-19. See what they did today? Tom Palacero, a very gifted inside NFL reporter, is now saying that the National Football League's new protocols, that if a team comes down with COVID-19, listen to me very carefully, inside the 17-game season, there's a chance for forfeit. If you're unvaccinated and you're on a team and you have a spread of the COVID-19, you take the risk of forfeiting games this coming NFL regular season. Remember, I keep emphasizing regular season. Window dressing. Window dressing. Here's why. It's good barbershop talk. So follow me here. You're going to implement a rule during the regular season, right? You notice they didn't say anything about the postseason. So you're going to tell me if Dak Prescott or Josh Allen, the starting quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, and Dak, the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, who basically have come out and kind of gave you the innuendo that they're not vaccinated. Allen is so much told you so, and Dak is saying it's a private matter. These two guys are getting ready for the Super Bowl. One of them comes down with COVID-19. You're telling me that you're going to forfeit the Cowboys or the Bills for the Super Bowl? You want to run that by Jerry Jones? You think you're going to forfeit the Super Bowl? Wait a minute here. Someone's saying, can you read? It's for the regular season. No. So you're not going to have that implemented during the postseason, but it's only good enough during the regular season. You know why? Why do you think that is? Economic change, my friends. $7 million for a 30-second commercial spot. You're not going to forfeit a Super Bowl. 150 million people viewing a Super Bowl. But wait a minute. You're telling me a Broncos and Raiders game, that is going to be okay. But the Super Bowl, hey, it's off limits. Window dressing. They're not forfeiting any games that matter with money. Don't be duped. These are the same people who could care less about former players putting shotguns in their mouth and killing themselves because they got CTE. I'm supposed to believe this crap? Oh, my God. The winds that blow on social media, what's ever trending, the NFL wants to be part of that. They are so ungenuine. They really are. You know how they kind of teamed up on Drew Brees last summer? We stand with everyone. That's for social justice. Why did Colin Kaepernick ever get a call from a team to at least try to work his ass out? Because they didn't care. Nobody was going to give that guy a job ever. Didn't want any of that. Didn't want advertisers calling him. Because what did I tell you the NFL's fan base is? Middle America and the South, which basically is Republicanville. You're not gonna do that to the football fan. I know everybody thinks that the world is around New York and California. You see how those states are run? They run them into the toilet. Businesses are leaving both of those states. Now you have sports teams. I was talking to my guy Chris O about the A's going, well, they're still in contact with city officials in Oakland. Yeah, because they have to be, because that's part of relocation. I learned that going through the whole thing with the Chargers as they were relocating, they were never going to stay in San Diego. They were never going to stay. They had no intention. Why would they? If I could move my business out of the 17th biggest market in the country to the first biggest or second biggest market in the country in LA, my business grows. I go from 17 to 2. You think Stan Kroenke, when he bought the Rams from the Frontier family, you really think he was going to keep that team in St. Louis if he knew he could move it to the second biggest market in Los Angeles and back to the brand of the Rams? Never happened. These guys aren't stupid. They're sharks. How do you think you become a billionaire? You know how? You take advantage of people. You know, we're going to cut a deal for the community. Kiss my ass. Cut a deal for the community. Yeah, that's right. Billionaires cut sweet deals for everyone. What do you think? This is the Peace Corps? It's the NFL. They take advantage of every situation they know of. I told you before, you know those pink ribbons? The NFL takes 97% of the economic money that they generate off those cancer months that they do with people and all that stuff with breast cancer. Hometown heroes, they send a bill to the Pentagon. A break. COVID-19. Okay, well, let's see if you implement this rule during the postseason. man, people believe anything. But then again, if you tune on the news, they tell you anything. All right, let me get into this. I told you, I texted Jimmy Johnson tonight, and I had a long talk with him. I won't divulge too much of what I said, but I got to tell you, man, I almost fell out of my bed this morning when I saw those sound bites on Jerry Jones talking about how he effed it up with Jimmy. I could not believe what I heard. And the story that he told about Barry Switzer, trying to bring them all together, was unbelievable. Jerry's sitting in Oxnard as his Cowboys are in training camp, and he was asked a question about Jimmy in his Hall of Fame speech this coming summer here, a couple weeks actually. He goes, I effed that thing up, man. I could not believe, for the first time publicly admitting it. I have so much respect for Jerry Jones now. Stephen Jones texted me tonight. He goes, can you believe? No, I'm still in shock. Then he told the Switzer story. He told it. I thought somebody wrote about it. Barry Switzer was brought down after Jimmy Johnson was fired. He's in Jerry Jones's office. The first thing that Barry says to Jerry, where's Jimmy? Well, Jimmy's not here. And then Switzer goes, why? He goes, Barry, Jimmy's gone. We're here to see if you're going to be the coach of the Cowboys. And he looked at Jerry Jones and he goes, well, I want to talk to him. He goes, Barry. And he goes, why in the world would you want to talk to him? He looked at Jerry Jones, and this is Jerry talking. He went like this. How can you two F this thing up so bad? Here's a guy that they were going to give the job to eventually, telling him, and I got to remember the history. Barry coached him at Arkansas as an assistant coach. I think he was a GA coach in the freshman team. Switzer started at Arkansas there with Frank Broyles. That's where Jimmy and Jerry played. They were roommates and teammates. Best friends. The wives went out. They were friends forever. And here's Switzer. Switzer and Jimmy had an adversarial relationship. And here's Switzer going, how can you F this up? You guys need to get on this couch and you guys need to work this you-know-what out because you two guys are dumb asses. How can you F this up so bad? This is their coach talking to them like that. My respect for Barry Switzer has elevated even higher than it was. Boy, I'll tell you something, man. That is spectacular. And I got to hand it to Jerry. That was awesome for him to admit it. I have so much respect for him. I'm so pulling for him to win a Super Bowl before that, final putt is made on the back nine of his ownership of the Cowboys. That was tremendous. That was a tremendous admitting of what went wrong. Wow. I still can't believe it. I'll probably talk about it all night. By the way, Archie Manning will join us tonight. Bye-bye to the Big 12. I'll hit on it. We'll do it next. You keep it here on the Dan Sileo Show. Oh, Big 12's finished. No. We're getting the national championship game at the Coliseum, and yeah. Good for me. Everything's good for me. Is he a Red Sox? Having a Kong to Jesus conversation. When they saw that it was 125,000 seats in that, the Coliseum, and they were like this, they go, they were like, boy, man, this has really got great seating. I go, yes, we got Kong boxes, and they're all set up for special events. And then plus outside the stadium, there's condominiums. Yeah, we have condominiums that everybody can use outside the stadium if they need to stay. Oh yeah, no. That that thing there's as big as what Jerry's got with that AT&T screen. Oh, absolutely, man. You'd think you were outside like at a drive-in. Yeah. You have Kongville National Airport too. I mean, right next to it. We got everything, man. It's all set up, like I told you. It's okay, man. But like I said, the Kong Border Patrol guys still, they're going around the island. We're trying to build a Kong gate. That wall that they broke down in King Kong 2? Yeah, that one there. This one's not made of wall. This one wood, I mean. Don't even know where. Stupid. Gotcha. Thank you. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. Archie Manning will join us tonight. How you doing, huh? He's got like a grandkid who's the number one prospect in the country. And now with these new NIL rules, that kid might be a billionaire before he even goes and picks his first school. I think he's a sophomore in high school, and he's like the number one quarterback in the country. He's got his pick of what school he's going to go to. And with the name Manning, what do you think that kid's going to make? Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, man. He may be a millionaire before he even goes to Ole Miss or Tennessee or Alabama. I mean, geez, oh man, just think of what that kid's going to make. Anyway, bye-bye, Big 12. Bye-bye, Big 12. It was good to know you, even though you were a mediocre conference. I know that was horrible. I apologize. Big 12's over. Night-night. Buona nota. Whatever you want to use. Texas and OU, you're going to take the Red River rivalry and send it to the Southeastern Conference. It is over. It is over. They want out. They want out. So now what you're going to do is make the Premier League of college football even bigger with two of the biggest brands on the planet. You know, Texas could actually go independent because they're so wealthy. You know, everything a big day. So now you're going to get Texas A&M again? Holy. So the bonfire could be back? Good grief, is that great for Texas? The only reason they canned that thing was obviously because of that disaster they had a couple years back. But you know that rivalry between A&M and Texas, it got split up because A&M went to the Southeastern Conference. Now you're going to put Texas in that thing with Alabama. How about this? Texas, Alabama. Whoa. Texas, LSU. Oklahoma, Texas. Oklahoma, Bama. My God almighty. Why do I need to watch Ohio State versus Iowa? No, thank you. USC versus Oregon State. The Trojans and the Beavers. How you doing? Right? How you doing? That's not something I'm interested in. Wow, the Southeastern Conference. They are a mule, man. They're kicking on all cylinders here. Do you know that conference in a pandemic made $800 million last year? That's not even the fact that they lost all that local revenue by not being able to have all the fans in. They weren't going to do this, though, like some of these other lame-ass conferences. And they weren't going to bend to the COVID-19. Remember this, nobody got sick. Okay, they didn't have completely full houses, but they have 50, 60,000 fans in them stadiums. They weren't going to completely get killed. They still lost money. But, dude, look at this. Every school, all 10 schools got stroked a $50 million paycheck. And then get this, because of the COVID losses, they were all given a $25,000 supplement check, $25 million, excuse me, on a loan they took because they know they got a new television contract coming up with ESPN. Holy cow. What a beast. They should get the hell out of that sorry-ass conference. They should, man. The Big 12's nothing. It's over with. Hey, do me a favor. Check out my friends at podcasterwarehouse.com. Headphones, earbuds, everything you need, microphones, we got it for you. If you're looking to build a home studio, which Big Sills has, 25% off of everything that's on the website. Use the promo code Sileo, S as in Sam, I-L-E-O. That's S as in Sam, I-L-E-O. $5 to $5,000. Podcasterwarehouse.com. That's podcasterwarehouse.com. A quarterback who I have dubbed Jelly, a.k.a. Big Ben. I'll explain why I call him Jelly. We'll do it next here on the Dan Sileo Show. Be right back for a second here, Chris. Take me 2 seconds. Did you see those really great gifts that I posted that Mark Gastineau gave me? Yeah. See, not losing my hair. Thank you. Oh, I do. It's like Whoville. WSU head football coach, not vaccinated. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. Oh, by the way, let me throw this out to you about Texas and Oklahoma potentially leaving the Big 12. You know those sorry-ass programs that they play in the Big 12? I don't mean like TCU or Baylor, but those are good schools. I mean, everybody's got good schools. I'm talking good programs. Okay? Those are exceptional programs. They really put out good football. Doesn't shock you, it's Texas, okay? But don't kid yourselves. Kansas State, Kansas. I mean, Iowa State's decent. But when you talk about Big 12 Southeastern Conference, you're talking about an entire upgrade of competition. Those 11-0 seasons that you have if you're OU, and you think you're going to go to the Southeastern Conference and start getting 10-1 seasons, 11-0 years? Absolutely not. You will get run off the schedule if you think that. I personally don't think that they have the roster to compete with the SEC. What's the number one thing that both Texas and OU don't do? You know what that is? They don't play defense. And if you play in the Southeastern Conference, you better have some hound dogs that get after people. They give up 50, 60 points a game. It's like watching a hoop game or an arena football league game. They play no defense in that conference. You think you're going to go to the Southeastern Conference and you're not going to have defensive personnel on your football team, and you think you're going to roll into Baton Rouge or you're going to roll into Tuscaloosa and you think you're going to beat them programs? Gainesville? Never happen. You'll get destroyed. You'll be destroyed if you think that. OU benefits playing in a crappy conference. And so does Texas. Well, wait a minute. Let me say this to you about Texas. You know, in the last, I think 16, 17 years, Texas has only won 3 Big 12 titles. How's that possible? With all the resources that you have, how is that possible that the Longhorns are not even the preeminent program in the state of Texas? That'd be either TCU or Baylor. You don't even run your own state. Economically, you do. The money that you generate? Absolutely. I'll say this to you. A&M did it right. Let me tell you why A&M did it right. A&M had the horses, and their transition into the SEC, albeit 7-4, hey, you go from that conference that you were in before into the SEC, and you're still winning ball games, and you're still north of 500, and you're building your program up to SEC caliber talent. I think both them and Missouri did a hell of a job. I do. I think they did a nice job, man. That transition was seamless for them. And on top of that, look at what happened to A&M. A&M now is the richest football program in America. And now you have Texas rolling into that conference. This benefits both Texas and Texas A&M incredibly. Look at what happened to Nebraska going to the Big Ten. When's the last time Nebraska was decent? I don't remember. When's the last time they were decent? But they get money. Hey, more power to you, right? They get money. Okay, whatever. Dog, man, that program is trash right now. Not good. Just not good. All right. Let's go over to this story here that's pretty interesting here. By the way, I don't mean to throw the COVID-19 and vaccination stories at you, but they seemingly are just coming each and every single day, and it's in the sports world. And boy, do I hate that politics has now jumped into the sports world. Hey, and for the record, did you see that there's maybe a new mandate coming out of the White House that kids may have to wear masks going into the fall? And even though the CDC has said that that's not necessary, they're contradicting one another, which means there's confusion. You can't be confusing when it comes to a pandemic. My God almighty. Stop it. You're confusing and scaring people once again. But see, that's the norm nowadays for government, is to scare you. That's a new tactic of politics, is scaring people. They learned it from these news networks. When you confuse, you scare. Why do you think people follow people with conviction as leaders? You know, I always get asked, you know, even the most ruthless leaders of all time, Pol Pot, the guy during the 40s who I don't like to name, okay? You know, I mean, Mao Zedong, all these guys. Okay, Pol Pot, maybe the word Stalin. Do you know why they followed them? Because they had conviction in what they were saying. And they didn't show fear. And they didn't show confusion. When you start messing around and not, I thought last year when you complaining about Trump not following the science, what, you know what's crazy? Remember I told you it didn't really matter what the political party was? They're doing the same thing too, the Democrats. Oh, I'm not castrating Democrats. I'm castrating government. They're doing the same thing. The CDC came out today, and the kids don't have to wear masks going into schools this fall. That's not what the White House is suggesting. Okay, I thought we were supposed to follow the science. I'm watching that whole thing on the Hill too with Anthony Fauci and Rand Paul. So Fauci disagrees with Rand Paul because of, get this, that's not exactly what the term means when they're talking about doing experiments in the Wuhan lab. It was by definition, and he was hanging on definition, Fauci, not realities of what the money was actually being used when it came to the research at the Wuhan lab. Basically, technicalities. And there's no way here that Dan Sileo saying that Anthony Fauci was resulting in trying to kill people around. That, no way at all. But mistakes are made. And where I'm going with all this is confusion scares people. There's a case right now. The Washington State head football coach, Nick Rovalich, didn't show up to the Pac-12 media day. You know why? He didn't show up because he didn't like the Pac-12's COVID-19 procedures when it came to vaccinations. He said, I'm not showing up. I'm not vaccinated. Wow. Here's a guy. Remember what I told you about conviction? This guy probably had a raspberry with the way that the Pac-12 handled themselves last year during the pandemic while he was watching the SEC go right through, not miss a game, put every single fan that they could in their buildings. And they went through a season. And watching the Pac-12 just fall all over itself. They did too. It's terrible how they operated last year. Pac-12, for them to recover from what happened last year, it'll be years before they're back in the landscape where people think they're a viable conference again. This is with This is with USC and UCLA and Oregon and Washington and Stanford in it too. You know, they're canceling programs at Stanford like women's tennis and wrestling because of the way they handled the pandemic. Do you know what they're doing at Alabama, LSU? They're stroking checks for $30 million as a pandemic check, like an aid check that the government gave out to Americans. They stroked all 10 institutions $30 million. They took a loan out for them. The Pac-12 is on vapors right now. You had coaches in that conference that were not taking salaries because programs were being shut down inside the schools. And so this Rovalich guy, how do you think that's going to be received, especially by people who are the corona pimps? Now, I've said this to you too. If it sounds like I'm stumping for you not to get a shot and a vaccination shot, not in your life. I'm not doing any of that. That's not my role here. That is not my role. Just like it's not the role of the NFL to make it hard on people who are not vaccinated. Just like it's not the role of Major League Baseball to pull the All-Star game out of Atlanta because of voter issues. That's not your role. People need to stay in their freaking lanes. It's not the role of a football coach to tell a kid to get or not get a vaccination. Those are left up to the parents. You're not going to be in charge of my 19-year-old kid when it comes to his personal health. That is not the role of a school. That is not the role of government. Where do you find that in the Constitution or anywhere where you think you could tell an American to get a vaccination or not get it? There's nowhere where that's written. It's like your First and Second Amendments don't matter anymore. Jesus criminy, man. You know how they were talking about Trump trampling on the Constitution? We're trampling it now. Well, it's the Trump people who aren't vaccinated. That's not true. Latinos and African Americans, 19% of them are vaccinated, which means they don't believe the government because they're scared, because there's confusion. I don't blame them. This is not your role. Where does it come off where it says that a football program should tell, like, where does it come off where the NFL is telling, well, you know, if you don't get vaccinated, you could forfeit games? What does that have to do with going into the 2021 season and seeing which team's a Super Bowl champion? How does that even play into the, like, sports? Oh, I know why. Because you want to be on the side of public opinion. Jesus criminy. And again, I want you to understand something. I'm not telling you to or not get a vaccination. That is not what I'm doing here. I'm not being hypocritical here. That is left up to you, your family, and how you perceive what's good. Personally, I'll tell you my opinion. I think they're still confused. Even from the Trump administration to the Biden administration, they still don't have their crap together. Now they're talking about a variant. Now they're talking about the vaccinations not working. Did you see that story that the Texas Democrats that flew to Washington came down with COVID-19? They weren't wearing masks on the plane. They were around the vice president of the United States. Could have infected her. I don't know. So what was the sense of getting the shots in the first place? Remember Biden, Trump, and everyone, get the shot, you'll be okay. I don't know. Is that really true? Could you say that with complete conviction that the shots that are being handed out by the United States government right now will protect you from getting coronavirus? Let me answer that. No. No. Well, then Jesus criminy. The people who took those shots may be back in the same place as every other American who has not been vaccinated. And you know what they'll start doing in the media soon? They'll start blaming the people who didn't get vaccinated on getting other people sick. Watch. I think it's pathetic. And it's all over the sports world now. Tomorrow's the opening ceremonies for the Olympic Games. And no fans are in the stands. Do you know the money, and I mentioned this last night, do you know the money Japan's losing on this? Oh, my God. Why have the games? You know what you could have did with the Olympics? You could have found a city that had all these facilities and basically put the games on. You didn't have to build all these swimming complexes and these volleyball complexes and these track and field complexes. It's a gimmick. Now that we're in a pandemic era, you should be holding the Olympic Games in places that have every one of these facilities intact. Okay? That's what you need to do. People are scaring people. It's not fair. Hey, check out my friends at podcasterwarehouse.com. Great place for you to be able to understand exactly what's going on when it comes to building your own home studio. This is it. Gamers, headphones, everything that you need, furniture. This is the place that you go. Podcasterwarehouse.com. Use the promo code Sileo, S as in Sam, ILEO. The promo code is Sileo. 25% off of everything. Shipping is free. $5 to $5,000. That's podcasterwarehouse.com. That's podcasterwarehouse.com. Dabo Sweeney. I want to hit on him. I love this coach. I do. I love him, man. He's done such a great job at Clemson. We'll hit on him next. Keep it here on the Dan Sileo Show. Nobody's there. So uncool. And on the taxpayers' backs, as usual. We have all the facilities there. Hey, do they have high taxes in Japan? Which is 23%. Well, that's normal. That's kind of what America is, right? So you pay more income taxes than Jeff Bezos does. That's why he can go to the moon. Yeah. Guy went up in a Roman candle and said, I'm in space. Yeah, he did. Wow. With a cord wrapped to it. Yeah, okay. Well, you guys got a salty morning show. Oh. Oh, I am laughing. You're the shock jock on that show? Wow, it must have a lot of personality on it. Holy shit, you're definitely the star of the show. No. I surrender. Oh, I forgot to talk about jelly donuts. I just said Chris O in my ear. Go what? You know me, I go on these tangents. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. I'm going to tell you. So did you guys see the picture of Ben Roethlisberger with no shirt on? You ever see that movie, Blades of Glory, with Will Ferrell? And he's like playing this skater. And he's like got this horrific body. And it reminded me of Ben, fat guy. I mean, so Ben's 39. And you know what his diet is? He's doing this. Yes, I'm coming in the best shape of my life. I thought he was a little bit thinner. So you know what I found out what his diet was? I'm not having those jelly donuts in the morning, 3 of them. Doing only 2 with no jelly in them. And no donuts before I go to bed. Get myself ready for the upcoming 2021 season. See, Ben's had an epiphany at the age of 39. He's realized that he's been a fat body his entire life. And now he's trying to, at the 23rd hour of his career, let me get myself in shape here. You know what his thought process is of getting in shape? Hey, I'm going to have skim milk and 2 jelly donuts instead of 6. Oh, my God. Yeah, no. Ben, his body looks a lot better now, I mean, no more ding-dongs at night, Or you know what? I heard also, too, the Steeler quarterback now, he used to eat 3 sleeves of, Oreo cookies in regular milk. Now he's gone, well, I'm just going to have half a sleeve. That's how I've decided to go, and decide to, a lactose-tolerant milk, not just skim milk, lactose-tolerant now because as I'm getting older, my stomach can't handle all the milk. Well, that would be because your body is a fat body. Am I goofing on him? Yeah, because he's been a pig and a slob his entire career, and he's not cared about keeping himself in condition. Look at Brady. Look at even LeBron. Those guys have kept their bodies in shape so that they can perform late. This is why these guys are still doing it late in their careers now, like they were still early in their careers. Ben now all of a sudden at 39, I'm not going to have those Krellers any longer. Oh, man, those chicken fried steak and eggs, man, I can't have that before bed anymore. Oh, my God, I laid off the Krellers. They get stuck and wedged right here. Like Tommy Boy, I better lay off the Krellers. I have a little bit of a weight problem. Oh my God, what a fat turd. His new name is His new name is Jelly to me, Ben Roethlisberger. Jelly. Yeah, like the guy on Bronx Tale, Jelly. The guy goes, come on, you're leaning on me here. Come on, put him in the bathroom. Put Ben in the bathroom. Put Ben in the bathroom. Come on here. No. Coffee cake, get away from him. Put him in the bathroom too. Holy cow. You're sweating all over me. Hey, Jelly. Oh, my God. Jesus criminy, man. That's what Ben is. Fat body Ben. What a turd. Holy cow, man. Now he's in shape at 39. He's laid off the Oreos and the jelly donuts. That's how he got in shape, You know what he did? Instead of running down to the candy kitchen. Holy cow, he's running down the end of his driveway. And he's picking up the milk in the milk cartons. Skim, though. Oh, man, he's such a fat turd. He is, man. My stomach's hurting for Jelly. Holy cow, mighty man. I don't know. Where am I going? Hey, Archie Manning. Archie Manning is going to join us. We'll talk to him about what's coming up in college football, too. I want to hit on Dabo Swinney. We'll reset. Do me a favor. Keep it right here on the Dan Sileo Show. Gotcha, brother. Here. I made it. Good evening, America. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. How the hell are you doing? Love the content that's going on in the world of sports. It is utterly amazing. Amazing. Having a good time, too. By the way, I want to thank everybody for coming aboard with us, especially our brand new affiliate in Orlando. Got to tell you guys, man, you guys have been spectacular. Reaching out to me on my Twitter page, Florida Man Radio in Orlando, 105.5 FM, and on 660 AM, and also for Walton Beach, the Emerald Coast on 103.1. Thank you so much. God, out of breath because I'm so excited where we are because football is here. Football is here, man. Teams are showing up to training camp. The content is incredible. It really is. Olympic Games tomorrow. Kind of. Kind of. And by the way, the one thing that I'm hoping is that we can keep the politics out of our sports world. Please, just for a little bit. With the COVID shots and all this stuff and, the NFL coming out with a new mandate. It really is obnoxious in a way. Think about it. Okay, you're now playing into the hands of the government by mandating that people get vaccination, or you're going to start forfeiting games. We'll get to that here in a minute. By the way, in this hour, we will be talking to our friend Archie Manning, one of the legendary players, former MVP of the NFL. His son's legendary careers, and he's got a grandkid. With this new nil rule, this guy might be a millionaire before he even steps on a college gridiron field. It's going to be incredible. It really is. I was talking in the last hour about what's going on in our country right now with vaccinations and such and how it's bled into the sports world. I hate it. Because I've always told you this. There's very few things that are left in this country where you can get Republicans and Democrats inside of a 75,000-seat stadium. Nobody cares what your politics, your sexual orientation is, your religious convictions. Nobody cares. You know why? You're rooting for one thing, your favorite sports team. Arena, baseball stadium, what have you. It's still the greatest equalizer, sports. It really is still the greatest equalizer. But see, what happens is politics and politicians don't like that because, politicians and people, they keep moving the game on us. What's insane is I saw that thing with the CDC today. You don't need to have any mask on kids going into schools this fall. The White House is saying, well, you might have to wear a mask this fall. Why would I believe you, dude? You're creating confusion again, which scares people. Now you have the NFL with a new mandate. Tom Pelissero, an NFL insider, is now saying, well, if you contract the coronavirus and you're unvaccinated, you may forfeit those games. Really? You notice it's only for the regular season, though. Right? It ain't got nothing to do with postseason. You ain't forfeiting no Super Bowl. You think you're not going to play the game? You're going to give up those $7 million per 30-second spot? I don't think so. See, sports leagues playing like an arm of the CDC or the White House is dangerous. Because what do Americans and fans do? They revere our athletes. And do you know what our sports leagues are trying to do to our athletes? you're politically dividing the fan base and you don't even know it. If you keep your athletes out of politics, we'll be like back where people could look at these athletes as heroes, because we need heroes in this country. We have so few of them because there's no hero. You know what a hero is to me? He rallies the troops, not rallies half the troops. I want someone to rally us all. That's what a great coach does. That's what a guy like Jimmy Johnson does. He don't care where you're from. He don't care who is your mother and father. He doesn't give a rat's ass except for one thing: winning. Sound like Charlie Sheen. Winning! People in Washington care about, their causes, not your causes. I don't care about your causes. You think they rep you? Come on, man. This is not a political stump here. But what I'm getting sick and tired of is when I tune on the news, all of a sudden I see sports involved in it. Whether it's transgender or it's the coronavirus, these sports leagues now pretending that, that they're all of a sudden health agencies. You're not. You think the NFL has a right to tell anybody to get a vaccination or not? Where does that say in the Constitution that the NFL can make a man have to tell you about his health history? So obnoxious. It really is. You have no right. And by the way, I'm not telling you whether or not to get one. All I'm telling you right now is this. That's up to your family. That's up to you and each and every individual who want to do that. Not me. I'm not going to tell you or I'm not going to be that other guy. Well, these vaccinations, they may make you. I don't play doctor on the radio. I think it's reckless. We got enough of that on CNN and Fox. I'm not going to play a doctor like politicians do or some sports leagues. I'm going to follow my heart, because you know why? These people today try to confuse us to scare us, because it sells and it gets votes. You know that what's crazy? Most Americans have great common sense, I think. That's what makes our country great. The people who are the ignorant people are the people covering us and the people repping us. Because they have all agendas. They don't have anything with our best interest at heart. How about this? I'll take that back. Maybe 10, 15, 20% that they may. But it is all about them pushing legislation through that helps their state, not you. I don't know. NFL saying they're going to forfeit games if you have a breakout with the coronavirus this year. Yeah, well, guess what? It's funny. They're going to tell you how that works during regular season, but they ain't going to miss out any playoff games, because you know why? The NFL television packages are wrapped more around postseason football than it is around regular season football. And I would ask you this: where's the NFL Players Association in this? Are you really going to allow a league to push players around when you're talking about your First and Second Amendments? You can't ask a player if you've been vaccinated. It's against the law. Oh, but we're going to try to make it hard for you. You have no right to do that. You have no right to tell me how to live my life. You have no right to do that. Whatever happened to that space that we used to have in our country? Politicians and people in government have now bled into the sports world. It's pathetic and sick. Anybody who tells anybody how to live their life, those are people I can't stand. Man, you better be somebody really close to me to give me advice. Because if you're just giving me advice from Capitol Hill, you can kiss my ass. I don't care. I don't know you from a can of paint, dude. And nor do you know me from that. I don't care what you're saying. I don't care what you're doing. I got my own world to deal with. Worrying about coronavirus. It's crazy. When you think about the NFL, I brought this up in the last hour. National Football League is going around pretending like they give a rat's ass about the coronavirus. You know what it's done? It's created a wonderful blanket for them to keep them away from the CTE lawsuits that are still out there and all the players that are struggling with brain issues, can't pay their bills, the medical health care issue. My friend Junior Seau took a shotgun to his chest. My friend Andre Waters committed suicide. Dave Durson knew all these men. I don't hear the NFL crying for these guys. I never hear them say anything. Have you heard them bring up anything? Hey, how about concussions, dog? Whatever happened to that story? Coronavirus just in the nick of time. Thank you very much. You threw a blanket over that, didn't you? I could give a rat's ass about the coronavirus if I'm an NFL guy. I care more about my medical benefits that you deny me. Some of you guys out there going, yeah, you knew what you signed up for, Sileo. Yeah, I did. But I didn't know you'd lie to me so much about the bad helmets, about the drugs you gave us. Would I do it again? Probably, yeah. I just hope you guys would be a little bit more safer and maybe tell us a little more on what we are doing. Because you lied to us all the time. Nobody wants to be lied to. See, like I told you, man, truth hurts. I guess that's controversy. That's what people confuse that with me. I'm not a political party. I don't give a rat's ass about these guys. These guys don't, I think they're all lowlifes. I have yet to see a politician where I was telling my aunt, yesterday, I'm not voting for any of these people. I don't like any of them. None of them. None of them. Because you know what? You're not leading. My coach, Jimmy Johnson, man, wow. What a great coach. Didn't care what your background was. Didn't care how much money your family had. He just wanted to know you and who you were as a person. I went to Miami as a troubled kid. Got thrown out of a college. He took me in. I'm going to give you a shot at the title, kid. I don't need you. I want you. There's a difference. I don't need you. I got all these superstar players at Miami here. You think I need you? I want you. Okay. I left there an All-American. Got a chance to get drafted by the Buccaneers. Those are leaders. Because, when you want something, and you see something in people, you can lead. Not everybody's capable of that. That's why you see them more in the sports world. Because you know why? I was telling you guys this the last couple of days. You can't move a scoreboard, but you can move politics. And you can move the chains. Watch this. A team beats another team, there's a scoreboard there. Well, we were better than him. Dude, no one cares. You got beat. In politics, it's this. In 2016, Trump didn't win. And in 2020, Trump won. You're like, and they keep moving the narrative. And you're like, man, that's why I'm one of those scoreboard dudes. I really am. Want to hit on Dabo, but I also have to hit on Jerry Jones again. Don't forget, Archie Manning, bottom of the hour. One of the legendary NFLers. You keep it here on the Sileo Show. Hey, I didn't miss it, did I? Oh, my God. I looked down and I saw 7:05. I sprinted for the first time. I jumped off my green. I almost fell in the pool. I got to the door. Oh, my God. Dude, I looked like I was Herschel Walker running around. I just lost track of time. I thought when you were talking to me, too, I thought we were on the air. Oh, my God. Yeah, I got you. I was like, oh my God, please don't let me miss this. Got you, Junior. Yes. Yep. Yes. Oh, talk wrestling. My dad put that together like 14 times. I do a sports update. Yeah, I know you do. Wow. I like how you did that. Florida. I see it. Archie Manning in a couple minutes. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. Boy, I'll tell you something. I cannot believe the comments I heard from Jerry Jones today. And you know what else I couldn't believe? I couldn't believe the emotion that he did it with. Jerry's getting his team ready for the upcoming 2021 year. And in a couple of weeks, Jimmy Johnson's going to be giving his speech in Canton as he's inducted officially into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And Jerry was asked the question, and he just basically took ownership of not keeping it together. I'm still blown away. How about this? It's probably the most shocking comment I've heard Jerry Jones say in his entire ownership of the Cowboys. Have you ever heard Jerry Jones admit failure? He goes, in my position, it was my responsibility to keep it together, and I didn't for whatever reason. I'm telling you, Jimmy Johnson must have fell off his chair. He must have just fell off his chair. He must have just missed the comments. This Barry Switzer story, it makes me emotional. How can you two guys? This is Barry. How can you two guys F this up? Do you know when the Cowboys won that first Super Bowl, they were the youngest football team in the NFL? That thing was primed to be a dynasty, probably better than the Patriot dynasty. Because let's face it, that Cowboy dynasty wasn't built on one dude like the Patriot dynasty was built on Brady. The triplets, they were the catalyst with that defense. Emmett, Michael, and Troy. That thing was going to win. How about this? The Patriot teams versus those Cowboy teams, it ain't close. I'll take the Cowboys all night long. You pick one team. I'll give you any team you want Brady's played on, including his Buck team. No way they beat that Cowboy team that Jimmy put together. No way. No way. Who's stopping Emmett? Who's stopping Irvin? Troy was spectacular. That defense with Charles Haley, come on, man. That defense was as good as he gets. And then you had a Hall of Fame coach and a Hall of Fame owner. And they were the youngest team in the league. It's crazy. And he's being told by Barry Switzer in that story, how can you two F this up? Get this, Barry didn't want the job. He went down to talk to Jerry to try to bring Jimmy back. That's what he was saying today in Oxnard. Where's Jimmy? He's been fired. He's gone. Well, get his ass back in here. And Barry, Jimmy's gone. Now, why the hell would you want to talk to Jimmy? He goes, because how could you two guys F this up so bad? How could you two guys do this? You imagine if you're Jerry Jones and you had just won 2 Super Bowls back to back, and you sit back and you're trying to give the job to the guy, and he's trying to tell you to hire the guy you fired. That's amazing. I've never heard a story like that you're going to get the Dallas Cowboy job, the premier job in the nation, and maybe in the world, and he's telling you effed it up. And he admitted it today. That was stunning. Stunning. All right. One of the legendary players and families of all time, Archie Manning, will join us right here on the Dan Sileo Show. God, let's see if I can remember the time here. Thank God. Yep. Yep, 50. Got you, brother. Thank you. Bye. It's okay. You there? Chris, you there?
Yeah, I'm just getting something out of the refrigerator real quick. You got a minute?
Okay.
All right.
Why would you call like that? It's 52. No. My aunt is calling me. My aunt's like, what do I get it. I don't know what she's doing. Dan Sileo, USA Radio Network. The magic of radio. How the hell are you doing? Hey, once again, I want to thank our great friends at Florida Man Radio for having us as one of their fabulous affiliates, and we really appreciate it. 105.5 FM and 660 AM, and then in Fort Walton Beach on the Emerald Coast, we're on 103.1 FM. Really cool. Thank you, Stevie. Thank you, John. Thank you, Shane. It's really awesome to be part of it. You know, I'm getting a coach on Monday. His name is Dabo Sweeney. He's the head coach of Clemson. I've been trying to get him on for a while. He's been very critical of what the college football playoff is trying to do. You know what he said? And this is a guy that makes $9 million a year. He's saying this, well, if you're going to expand this stuff here, okay, we need to shorten the regular season. Oh, boy. You think athletic directors want to hear that? Taking money out of the coffers? Absolutely not. He's given a dig back. You can't keep calling yourself amateur sports and playing a professional role in front of the American people. You know what's becoming more evident? The American people are seeing through all the BS. Okay? They're seeing through the BS, man. You can't call yourself amateur sports anymore when you got coaches making $10 million a year. You just can't. Oh, wait. You can act like an unholy government like the Chinese government and pretend. By the way, I never got this. That's no rip on the fabulous folks that live and work in China or the Japanese folks, when we're talking about Asian and all that, I don't know how people tie all that in. Like when you're ripping the Wuhan lab, it's almost like people in this country think you're ripping Asian people. But that's a democratic selling point. You think anybody really blames the Chinese population for the Wuhan lab? I wouldn't blame the people that live around Livermore in California for the Livermore laboratory that also does the same thing as the Wuhan lab. That'd be like blaming everybody in Danville and Pleasanton, California that live around Livermore, California. How dumb is that? 90% of those people don't even know what goes on at the Livermore lab. It's the same stuff that goes on at the Wuhan lab. It's a military laboratory. I've been by it. I've seen it. But we like somehow tie that in. It's dumb. It had nothing to do with it. Dabo is so great laying it out there like this, though. He is. He's taking shots at you. Oh, well, if you want to expand, you have to cut back. No. They're going to see, they want to keep, they want to keep the lie going because they think Americans are stupid. They do. They think you're stupid, but we're not. You're not amateur sports, dude. You think the Olympic Games are amateur sports? By the way, the Olympic ceremony's tomorrow, right? You know why most Americans don't really look at the Olympics like they did during the Jim McKay era? Because NBC has it in the can already. They'll tape it, they'll edit it, and they'll present it. You know what was great about like the Olympic Games when McKay and ABC called it? It was live. It was live television. Whether it was in Munich or Lillehammer or anywhere in the world, it was live. Mexico City was live. NBC does this. Let's put it in a package, bow it up, send it off to America. Hey, I guess that's what broadcasting is today. That's not the real Olympic spirit, is it? Watching the human drama and all that play out in front of you. Signed, canned, and sealed and delivered. Kind of the way people like to do our politics nowadays. Funny thing, though, in sports, that's what makes sports beautiful. You know what it can't be? It can't be predicted. You can't predict sports because the upsets are always there. That's what we're talking about here. I can't wait to talk to Coach Sweeney from Clemson. All right. Jerry Jones, more on him. We'll reset. You keep it here on the Dan Sileo Show. Because you love me. Oh my God, you got Kong Mania? Holy cow, man. You're now a